Hello, everyone. Welcome to the preview. I've just seen Sam having a proper dance there in the background. He was loving that new intro. He was loving it. Welcome, everybody. Brentford, the biggest game of the season. Is it? Is it, Sam?
Yes, it is. But definitely the biggest game so far, hopefully.
Yeah, if we get beat tomorrow night. Oh, Christ. Don't know how we're going to take it coming out in the video, doing all these videos. But this is the preview. We're going to be doing a share screen facility like we did the last couple because there's a game every 3 days. It's tough. Me and Sam are the workhorses. You're probably sick of the sight of me and Sam on nearly every video and doing everything behind the scenes.
Surely not.
But this is the preview. So we're going to have a look at what Steve Bruce said in his presser today. Well, that'll probably be mentioned somewhere. We'll obviously take a look at the opposition because the opposition, a lot of people are worried about them. Have we got to be right to be worried, Sam?
Yeah, of course we have. They're no mugs. They're sitting 4th in the Championship, aren't they? And they've got one of the top scorers in the league, a player we know very well. We kind of wish we knew him a little bit better because he never really got a fair crack, did he, Ivan Toney? But yeah, they're no mugs. It's a real... I mean, Brentford are the bookmakers' favourites. That tells you all you need to know.
Tells you how poor we're playing at the minute, isn't it? Right, let's crack on. Let's have a look at what Mr. Bruce has been saying all about in today in his press conference. Let's switch it over to here. So, Steve Bruce looks ahead of tomorrow's Carabao quarter-final cup against Brentford. He says, well, I'm looking forward to it. We've got a great opportunity to get to the semi-final of a cup, so let's enjoy the challenge of it and see where we can go. It doesn't sound very optimistic. I didn't like what he says. We'll give it a good go. We'll give it a crack. On Brentford, he says they're a good team. I was disappointed with our last 2 games and we didn't play well enough. No shit. We didn't get anywhere near the levels required, but this is a different challenge. Let's hope. Again, hope. There doesn't seem to be a bit of confidence there. Let's hope we can play well enough.
That's generic manager speak. That's generic manager speak, though, isn't it? Let's hope we can do a bit better and, we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll try and do this. I mean, he's not going to... Not many managers will come out and go, right, we're going to do this, we're going to batter the fuck out of them and we're going to be in the semi-final. Boom, oi, oi.
At least be confident instead of saying hope and let's see what we can do and all that. Squad rotation, obviously we'll talk about the lineup, what we're thinking might happen, but Bruce has said that I have to monitor it, see what we've got. Isaac Hayden had to go in at centre-back on the weekend. I can't say that situation improving. Whatever side we put out, certainly capable of performing better, and we'll have to because Brentford are a good side. And then obviously Ivan Toney as well. He's done very well. Looked like he's playing with burning desire to prove a lot of people wrong. You have to say well done to him. He'll be a threat because he's playing with a lot of confidence. More on him in a few moments. And obviously it's been too far long gone. We're giving ourselves a chance, obviously, on about the cup run here. We know how difficult it's going to be, but let's have a crack. Again, let's have a crack. You know what I mean? Well, and all of this, let's hope and let's have a go. And it doesn't breed confidence for me. But one thing I did like, if I scroll up, and you've probably seen this a little bit earlier, Sam, that you've seen, there's obviously a couple of the lads in training.
Yeah.
That was Miggy there, but Martin Dubravka, there he is. Back.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly I think tomorrow's a bit too soon for him, from what I've heard. But the goalkeeper situation is coming to the boil nicely, isn't he? Steve Bruce has got one hell of a decision to make. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see if Dubravka got a bit of a run out. I say run out, he's a goalkeeper, but still a bit of a run out over Christmas just because there's so many games. But, I mean, who'd have thought we haven't missed him at all? That's absolutely crazy, isn't it? Because we were so worried about him getting injured, and obviously lockdown 1 came and that gave him time to recover, and he was injured then, so we got him back after the restart. But Darlow's been absolutely superb. There's calls for an England call-up, and no one would have seen that coming, would they?
No, you're right. Darlow deserves his chance to keep his position. He's really deserved it. Any UFC men, I don't know if I pronounce that, you should be saying we should be going in there. We must win. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I want to hear. I want to see my manager breed confidence instead of a hope and we'll have a go and let's give it a crack and none of that bullshit. Anyways, I've got to touch upon it. It's a little bit left-sided, but there's a reports going around that Alan Saint-Maximin, of course, Jamal Lascelles had fallen out with Steve Bruce. I don't think that's the case now because Chris Waff has come out and said that it looks like it's possibly a COVID situation. And Alan Saint-Maximin said on his Instagram live tonight as well, Sam, that there's been no falling out with Steve Bruce.
No falling out with Bruce. He likes Bruce. He likes the way he's been treated by Bruce. No problems. He loves the club. He loves the fans. He loves his life in England. So I presume it's just a case of, he says he feels fine. He's not injured, but recovering from COVID isn't an injury. He's been ill, hasn't he? It's all very well, of a resting position like me and Thee are now, we can feel fine. But if we're running at 30 mile an hour all over the pitch for 90 minutes, that's
30 mile per hour steady. I wouldn't think I could hit kilometers.
ASM could. Me and you couldn't. ASM could, I'm sure. But well, it seems like he could anyway. But yeah, that's a different thing. So the recovery time's taking longer. There's been so many rumours flying around, hasn't there? And it'll carry on because it's ASM and Lascelles, the two big players, two big dressing room figures, aren't they? So yeah, I just hope he can recover and get back on the pitch as soon as possible because we need him. It's not my birthday.
I was about to say, is it your birthday, Sam? Because I'm sure you had one early on the air. Yeah, so let's talk about how we think it will go. You've got to go with Darlow. In fact, you've got to go with the strongest side for me that you can possibly get because you've seen the big 3 or 4 teams coming up afterwards. Just go for it. None of this rotating. Pick your best 11. If you pull up with an injury, risk it. I know you've said, Sam, when there's Wilson getting a rest, but not for this game. For me, go with the strongest. Go have a go. Give us a bit of hope going on for the rest of the season. I've obviously seen the finals being pushed back to April, but you never know. We could dream that the semi-final of Stoke. Please, go on, Stoke, please. Can pull off a miracle and we get Stoke in the semis. Unlikely, but still. How or who do you see coming back in to the side on Tuesday, tomorrow?
I'd be amazed if Dwight Gale doesn't play. I would be amazed. It is time. It is now. This is his sort of game. He's lethal at championship levels. We've seen glimmers and flashes of brilliance. That winner against West Brom was absolutely fantastic. This is his chance. This is his time. It's written in the stars for him. Surely Gale's got to come in and partner Wilson up front. It wouldn't surprise me to see Wilson rested, but I agree with you. This is the game he's got to play. Taking him out for Man City sets a negative tone straight away. But what would you rather?
It's that if we get beat and we don't play, it's good.
Yeah.
The fans not enough don't already come for him, but they'll be gunning for him again.
Yeah, you'll probably see Isaac Hayden back in at centre half because we've no one else. I would expect to see Jamal Lewis come back in as well at left back because Dummett doesn't look quite fit enough, and it would be great to see Lewis and Fraser down that left-hand side working together. That would be exciting for me.
That they have another run out. And I also think Hayden will actually play at centre-back.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Hayden who will play there alongside Clark. I think Fernandez will be, even if he is fatigued with this COVID that he's recovering, I still think Hayden will play there out of position because there is nobody else. Yeah. How long's Fabian Schär out? We're kind of be that far now, Sam.
Don't know. Well, this is the thing as well, because I was a bit sceptical when obviously rumours circulating. We were told that 2 or 3 players were really bad with COVID.
And surely it's got to be Manquillo, Lascelles, and ESM now.
Well, where's Schär?
I don't know where's Fabian Schär. 4 players then? Because didn't he say that one of them was on a ventilator or something like that?
I don't know. I think that was speculation, which I don't want to add fuel to.
Yeah.
But Lascelles was at the game on Saturday.
And ESM looks when I say he looks all right, when he's Instagram live, he seemed a bit bubbly, seems lively, and he's interacting with the kids and stuff like that. And so
it seemed like he was in France, didn't it? From the way he was talking, it seemed like he was in France. So
which is strange because if he has COVID, why is he going abroad to rest?
Also,
It's just bizarre.
if everything's fine and dandy and he's not injured and all this, that, and the other, why is he in France as well? We've got a cup quarter final.
It's a golden question, isn't it? It is. Let's have a look at what Newcastle's last 6 are. It's indifferent, isn't it? Lost, 1-1, lost, drawn. Obviously, the last 2 games. Well, I say the last 2. The last half a dozen, more than a dozen games have been absolutely shocking to watch. Yeah. Really, I think there's only really the Burnley win that I think Newcastle deserved, and even spells in that game, Burnley were decent. But I mean, if you look at after Brentford,
I don't know, the Morecambe game wasn't too bad.
Let me scroll up. There you go, 7-0. Yeah. I mean, you could say Newport. I mean, that was disastrous penalties. But I mean, if you take Brentford out after this, and then you've got Man City, Liverpool, Leicester, Arsenal, yes, are indifferent. It's a tough four. So,
which is why we said after the game on Saturday, I mean, kind of, it's a good job we didn't lose, because had we have lost against Fulham, the gap would have been down to 5. And you look at them league fixtures, where's the next win coming from?
I'll take 3 points from them 3 games.
I bet you would.
I'd draw all 3 of them, all win 1 and lose 2. I think you'll just take it. Try and keep an even curve on that.
Optimistic.
Well, you've got to be, haven't you? One of us has got to be anyway. We'll have a look at Brentford in a moment. What the league table is. Let's have a look at a couple of your comments again. Who starts left back and right back? Again, the golden question about right back. You could pick
Lewis and Kraft, I think.
You think it'll be Kraft? Yedlin did all right on the weekend.
Yeah, he did.
I agree with Daryl. Full strength tomorrow. Got to. Connor says Dummett. I don't think Dummett. I agree with Sam. I don't think Dummett will play 2 in the space of 3-4 days. Daniel wants to say Wilson and Gale up top. We've been crying out for that the last few games as well. To say those 2 up top. Will we say it? Well, that is the question. Let's have a look where Brentford are actually in the league table, shall we? Let's switch it across. So, Sam touched upon it. They're in the flying high in the championship. They're 4th at the moment on 35 points, 1 point behind Freddie Woodman's Swansea. The league is very tight. Norwich starting to pull away a little bit, but if you look anywhere from 2nd, probably down to 13th, possibly the 10 points, it could be any 2 or 3 from them who go up, but the flying on the 31 goals, 2nd top goal scorer. No, sorry, 3rd top goal scorer.
You say they're flying, but the team 1 place below them has just sacked the manager.
Watford sacked their manager. I mean, they're ridiculous, aren't they?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
The ridiculous football club, the way they go about their managers. Middlesbrough, of course, have shot up. Stoke are having a better season what they have, but Brentford, yeah, only 18 conceded out of 20 games as well. So, obviously, they did sell their star man, Ben Rama, but it hasn't stopped them at the time.
Nope. A lot of people thought they would struggle without Ben Rama. Signed Ivan Toney, obviously.
I think he's on loan, actually, to West Ham. I don't think they've sold him.
I thought it had to be made permanent. I think it's one of them where it just has to be made permanent, though, doesn't it? There's a clause or some shit. I don't know. But either way, he's not at Brentford. So they brought Toney in. He's been absolutely superb. I mean, again, he's not been... he was never given a fair crack under the whip, and that was under Rafa predominantly, wasn't it? Never got anywhere near.
Yeah, I liked Ivan Toney because I watch a lot of under 23 football. He was too good every time I watched him. He's too good. His strength and pace, holding the ball up in the under 23. He's good.
So why did Rafa sell him?
He went out on loan, didn't he? And he struggled a little bit when he went back out on loan. But when we put him back out on loan, a couple of loans later to Peterborough, the goals just started coming, and then we obviously signed him permanently. We put that clause in, and Newcastle got about 4 million this summer.
Yeah, just under, I think. But yeah, it's still a good chunk for a sell-on fee, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's banging the goals, and we'll have a look how many goals he's got in a minute. But it's another team, Sam, that play football, and what I mean by that, and obviously I've seen the manager come out and say today that he's going to attack Newcastle. That worries me because we're playing against another side that are going to come and attack. We're Fulham play nice football. Brentford do.
Leeds and Southampton do. That went well, didn't it?
Nah, but even though it's a championship side, I can see us parking the bus again.
Possibly. I mean, their best. I mean, Brentford. There's no secret on how to beat us. It's press high, get down the wings, and attack. Because all we'll do is sit behind the ball and look to counter every now and again, which we're okay at sometimes. And then we'll hit the ball long to a striker that's 50 yards away from everyone else and is isolated for 90% of the game. So this is where I think we need Gale as well. Just that.
Like the body up front.
Yeah. But then again, if you're going to play long ball,
I hope not.
Maybe Andy Carroll gets the nod, but
the thing is though, is that we're not pleasant to watch, but our status is a Premier League side against a Championship side. Bruce, for me, has got no excuses. I didn't want him coming out saying, well, I thought we did well in spells when we got absolutely outbossed every single game. I hate it when he comes out and says that. I don't know why he says it. Look, they're going to come in and attack us, right? So why don't we play it their game? What we've got to lose? We cannot park the bus against a Championship side and try and do another Newport and try and win on penalties. And by the way, if it goes on penalties, we're going to have to reschedule all of our videos. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Which I'm not looking forward to.
Well, you will, because I'm at work.
I'll have to do all of that. That's the graph that me and Sam put in. I just hope it doesn't get to penalties because, but we've got to go and attack. Sam, we've got to. I didn't want to watch.
Would you start? Say, let's say Fraser starts on one wing, for argument's sake. Who would you put on the other one, Miggy or Jacob Murphy?
I would play wingers in the right position, so I'll play Murphy.
Do you know what? I agree.
I didn't want to see Almiron play out of position where he's not strong on the right. I'd rather play someone who's a natural winger who will go down that wing and take his man and whip balls in. Yeah. Or even if it's Matt Ritchie, I'd be happy with Ritchie and I score the comical own goal and all that. But play players in the natural position.
I like Fraser and Murphy tomorrow. Pacey, out on the wide, get crosses in.
See, I like Ritchie because he does it from deep as well.
Yeah, but I just think pace is going to be the key tomorrow, which Rich is just lacking half a yard now, isn't he? So that's why I would favour Fraser and Murphy personally.
Yeah, we'll see what the team comes out with. And I'm not even looking forward to it. I mean, I am, but I'm not because it's a toon game. But
this is it, because like when we did the watch along at Fulham, you just become so numb to it now because you're just so used to it, and it shouldn't be that way, should it?
No, you just hope for a result. And look at Brentford's form. How many losses do you see here, Sam?
Not many.
13 unbeaten in the Championship at the moment.
Not too shabby.
So they're on a great run of form. Look at the odds as well, 13-10 to beat us. Yeah. It's a Championship side. They shouldn't have that high odds. So for Brentford have got now to lose. We've got everything to lose for me because if we lose tomorrow, Sam, obviously the fans are already still upset, but we're seeing some of the media now turn on Bruce. I've even seen Lee Ryder do this as well last night.
Well, good. About time.
It's going to crank up a bit. And if we lose tomorrow, I think that's our season done because we're not getting relegated, I don't feel. We're not going to be anywhere high in top 10.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think we will be relegated, but if things don't pick up, we will be in that scrap because, as I go back to again, the next 3 or 4 games, we could end up having no win in 5 or 6 games quite easily.
Yeah,
but then we're going to Sheffield United with rock bottom confidence, and God knows what could happen there.
They could pick up a couple of wins and gain confidence, couldn't they? I mean, look at Burnley. Burnley were nowhere a few weeks ago, and look at them now; they're flying.
Yeah.
Gillespie I don't want Gillespie to play. Rowan, I want the strongest 11. Go with it, but strongest 11 and players in actual positions would be lovely as well. If that means people have to go on the bench, so be it. For me, if that means Miggy has to drop to the bench for someone to play in their correct position, so be it. I would like to say Elliot Anderson on the bench. You might do. You can name 9. I tell you who I'd love to see on the bench. We talk about every video is Mr. Matty Longstaff, but we've talked about him quite a while. and I just can't see him, unfortunately. Matty playing, unfortunately. But let's have a look again at going back to screen share, and we'll take a look at
just
Brentford.
briefly, whilst you get your share screen up, if Matty Longstaff plays no part in these games over Christmas and New Year, he'll be. Why did he sign that new contract?
I know, he's barely not even getting it kicking. Let's have a look at Brentford then, Sam. Obviously, Ivan Toney's the big one, of course. 16 goals, I believe it is so far. They've even got him pictured in a Toon shirt. Banging the goals in, but I'll tell you who I do like, and I mentioned this when we done Championship players to watch out for, was Brian Mbembo. He plays on the right, normally left-footed. Scored tons of goals last season in the Championship.
Didn't he get 2 at the weekend?
He's quality, man. He's quality. Young lad, I think he's 21 still. Big future ahead of him, and he'll not be playing Championship football for long if Brentford don't come up. Someone will snap him up. Of course, probably a notable one is Pontus Jansson.
I'll tell you what, if Carroll does start, that would be a great battle to watch.
Jansson
Popcorn at the ready for that one. There'll be elbows flying everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising he left Leeds, mind, considering they're back in the Premier League, and he's went to Brentford, and now he's captain there as well. I'm just trying to think who else. Sergio Canos is a great player as well. Yeah. Kind of say his head there, but obviously he used to be on the books of Barcelona, quick and attacking. So even though they have lost Benrahma, there's still those front three are the massive threat, and it's a worry. And obviously they've got Goras as well, who's another one who's decent as well. But it's those front three, isn't it, Sam?
Yes, you would say so. They're a handful for sure, aren't they? They've been banging the goals in the Championship. Hayden, arguably out of position, but not as out of position as if someone else was there. Let's face it, he's still very defensively minded, isn't he? Played there for Arsenal youth, didn't he? So you would like to think Clark and Hayden, if that's who it's going to be, or even Fernandez, if he gets the nod, should be able to cope, but it's not going to be an easy night's work, that's for sure. Yeah,
and Lewis has been tested defensively. He comes back in, which we expect to with him being rested at the weekend. He might be in for another tough night, so Liam will be at his throats as ever. Yeah. Like picked on by Liam, somewhat rotten. Whatever Bruce, don't start Gillespie. He's getting a bit of stick, Gillespie, in the comments as well.
That's only because he made that error against Newport. I mean, let's not forget he was brilliant the previous 2 rounds. It's just one of them things. But, I mean, that's only just to defend him slightly. I mean, I would be playing Darlow every time, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Is our team allowed to travel to Brentford? Yes, even though the Tier 4. It's funny because London had been moved into Tier 4, and I put a personal thing on my Facebook saying, why is London in Tier 2 a few weeks back? And when they had fans in, so Newcastle still don't have any fans, which will probably help Newcastle not having any Brentford fans there. We have to go for it tomorrow. I would agree with you. I totally agree. Atsu, remember him? Don't mind Atsu. I don't think he'll even feature. I know you could technically play, and so could Henri Save. Remember him? But none of them will get a look in. I don't feel none of them will. But we'll take a look.
If Henri Save plays, Matty Longstaff will be livid.
He won't play Henri Save, he'll not. Let's take a look at Brentford. Obviously, I've touched upon already. Ivan Toney, look at that, man. He's just running away for 16 goals. Him and Adam Armstrong having their own Newcastle competition for the top of the Championship scoring chart. And it just goes to show you, perhaps he should have kept the hold of them a little bit longer. Marcus Force, I don't know much about this lad finished, but again, look at his age, 21. Young lad, 5 goals. I don't know too much about him, though. But Brian Mbembo, as I touched upon as well, is still 21. Josh De Silva, 22. 24, Matthias Jensen. 23, Rico Henry. Sergio Canos, 23. Vitaly Yanolet, 22. Aaron Presley, 19. You see where I'm going here, Sam, don't you? Look at the ages, man. So young. Early 20s, a lot of them. So
if they can keep hold of their key players then in that age, they're going to be some force to be reckoned with if they continue to develop the way they are. But when they're entering their peak years, sort of 26, 27, that's when they should all be coming to the fore. And see, then again, that's interesting. Look, aerial duels weak. So even with Pontus Jansson in the team, you know, there is an argument again. Like I said at Leeds, I thought that was the game for Andy Carroll. Maybe this is as well, but I would still prefer Wilson and Gale.
Well, it's interesting that WhoScored.com having Weekers defending down the wings, so it's probably an area that we could improve on. But protecting the lead very weak. So if they do go in front, I hope Newcastle attack. But looking at the style of their play, go for the middle, possession football, keep the ball, short passes, attempt a lot of through balls. Obviously, got pace on the wing, play in their own half, not aggressive, like to play on high line. So if Carroll plays, they'll play the high line without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And opponents play aggressive against them, which is interesting as well. Their formation is very, very rarely changes. If you look at here, they've only changed the formation twice all season. It is literally a 4-3-3, as I say earlier on. And Bembo, Tony, and Canos are really, really talented. And those are the three that I'm highlighting. Sam will highlight, no doubt, as well as the danger men. But Sean Longstaff needs a performance again, I feel. Did he start again for you, Sam, or does Henrik come in?
I would say Sean gets taken out of this one. He's played the last three in quick succession. I thought Sean was okay first half on Saturday, but kind of fell by the wayside second half.
We need to. What I'm trying to get at is we need to dominate the centre midfield because we haven't for games on end. We get a hold of the ball and dominate it.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from. I mean, maybe it is a game to put Hendrick in his proper position, centre midfield, and maybe not on, because he looks horrendous on the right-hand side of midfield, doesn't he? He's never had a fair crack at the whip in the middle of the park. But again, where's Matty Longstaff? I want him in there. I want him in there, preferably with John Joe Shelby, in my opinion.
Yeah, John Joe. Sky were applauding him massively on the weekend. I don't think John Joe had the greatest games, but...
No, and that is assuming Isaac Hayden plays at centre-half as well.
Yes, which we are expecting Hayden to. We're going to wrap up with just reading some of your comments, then we'll get a score prediction from the both of us. Let's have a look. Save is still here. Yes, he is still at the books. He still has another 7 months on his contract to run.
Would you give him an extension?
Bruce would. He'll probably say, who's that? He'll go, well, we've got a new guy in training, you know.
Like a new signing.
Let's give him a go. Let's give him a crack. Well, you know. Let's have a look. We should have kept hold of Ivan Toney, of course. Yeah, I missed Ryan's comment there. Mikel Merino and Babu. Yeah, of course he would.
Yeah.
Both internationals. Never understood why we sold Merino. I swear to God, we better not start Save, Aarons, and Lazar. I think we'll be all right, Thomas. I think we will be. Steve Bruce masterclass. If he pulls off a masterclass tomorrow, I'll sing on video. Put it that way. And we'll just quickly wrap through some of these as well. Matty's a better player than Sean.
That's what we're told. That's what we're told. And Sean would tell you that himself.
Yeah.
In fact, I recall an interview with Sean that says when everyone's fit, Matty's the best midfielder in at the club.
Interesting comment that. Right then, before we wrap up, let's get a score prediction off you, Sam.
2-1 win, Dwight Gale.
Oh, yes. I'll say it'll go to penalties. And then it's a lottery.
That's another reason to start Darlow. Darlow's bloody good on penalties.
I'm going to say it's going to go to penalty shootout, and then it's a lottery. I hope Newcastle do it, but I'm going to say it's going to go all the way to penalties. Remember, there's no extra time tomorrow night. It's straight to penalties. So you've got to go for it. Yeah, penalties. Sam's going with the 2-1 win, Gale win. Well, hopefully, I'll be back at just after 4:30. You've got me for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes until Carl takes over the live watch along. Please join us. Then we've got Johnny's quick thoughts at 7:30. And then we've got scoring the players if you want, not scoring the players, fan reaction video at 7:45. So make sure you get involved, have your say on the result, good or bad. And then about 9 o'clock, we've got scoring the players.
I'm back for that.
And you'll be back for that one, Sam. And then I'll be back with the last word, probably live again because it's late. Well, I might do it on video. Who knows? I'll make the mind up tomorrow. But if it's live, I'll have it preloaded for you all. But that'll probably be about 10ish.
On Wednesday, on NFTV Extra, it's the Greenwood and Mulliner Show Christmas special. Tune in.
There's some laughs in there. I've already seen some of the stuff that's been uploaded. So make sure you tune in to NFTV Extra. If you don't know what that is, that's our second channel. Subscribe to it. I'm also going to be bringing non-league match vlogs. Now I've got nine more days off work. Woohoo! So I might get myself, so I can get myself to 1 or 2 match day and local match day vlogs. But that is it. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your night. See you tomorrow.